In this video, we're going to talk about researching Wave 2 setups. We've talked a lot about the various strategies we use for Wave 2, and obviously Wave 3 can come later and it's a smaller proportion of collections. But I'm going to show you some really advanced ways that you can filter on DexScreener, and DexScreener makes it very easy as long as you know what to do. So before we filter, let's just jump into our heads for a second and discuss exactly what we're looking for before we do the filters. Because if you know what you're looking for, then it makes more sense because you might change your filters slightly compared to what I use. So we talked already about the collections and how they have this Wave 1 move, and then we might get a Wave 2 on a much smaller proportion of collections, and then number 3 is very rare, but 2 is quite possible. 1, nearly all of them do this, even if it's a quick pump and dump over a few minutes. So if you think about it, 2 is usually, like I said, within the first anywhere from 6 to 24 hours. Let's call it 24 hours maximum. So within that first day, whilst the project is still fresh, interesting, trending, the initial snipers, traders, flippers, including me, because I love Wave 1, have all gone away. And the price has been allowed to be calm, consolidate, find a good level. And then that's where you get the real holders. You get people here in this area holding for longer term, hoping for more pump. And then you get new people coming in when they see it trending again. So how are we going to pick this up, do you think, with filters? That's the important thing. So if you think about it, first of all, in terms of time filter, we want to know just in the last 24 hours. We want to see all the collections, not in the last 3 hours, 1 hour, or 7 days, just 24 hours for now. For this Wave 2, that's what we want. Okay, so that's one thing. We could change it maybe to a little bit more, a little bit less, but basically that's what it is. Next thing, platform. Very easy to filter. So if you're sticking to Sol, like I mostly do nowadays, not always, but mostly, then I would put Sol as platform because we don't need loads of noise. We don't have time to check every single blockchain. It's just too confusing, too complicated, and we don't need it. If you get one good trade every day, you don't have to worry about everything else. So that's it. And then what's next? So we've got the platform, got the time. What about liquidity? A lot of these in Wave 1, they failed. And you remember what I said about failed levels. What market cap do they always go? As soon as they get under 5K, they're really struggling. But they're very, very much done under like 2, 3K. But really, if it's going to do a Wave 2 and it's going to push on and stuff, it's not going to start from 5K and suddenly erupt, although it is possible. So this one's up to you. You can put anything from 5 to 25. I like to put about 20, something like that. I have seen sometimes completely dead collections suddenly start trending, and you know that too. And as soon as you see that, you need to pick up on it fast, because if they're going for a Wave 2 and you're seeing them when they've just moved this much at the bottom, wow, that could be a massive opportunity. So these are the main ones. We may add 1 or 2 other filters as well as necessary, but let's start with those and see how we get going. So let's get back on DexScreener. Back on DexScreener, and here, what we want to do now is get onto the filters. So we just swipe towards the right, click on filters. Let's go for Solana, save, liquidity. Let's do 15. So delete everything in there and do 15 minimum. Very, very easy to do. Don't want to worry about market cap or anything right now. It's more the liquidity we're worried about in terms of buying and selling transactions. And the pair age, we want to put, we can put maximum here, 24 hours. So that should be fine. And a minimum age, we want it to have gone, sorry, I forgot to mention this. So you want it to have gone past Wave 1. You don't want to be messing about with brand new ones right now. You're trying to look for new setups later on, which can happen anytime, but tends to be minimum 2 to 4 hours all the way up to 24. So let's put minimum, let's say 2 hours for this one. Again, we can always play around with these on any given day and time. And the volume we're not worried about. 6-hour transactions and stuff we're not worried about, although these are very advanced ways you can look for slight breakouts, but we're not going to discuss that right now. Scrolling further down, none of these other ones you need to worry about. It's just over filtering, which you don't need to worry about right now, because we don't mind looking at a few charts. We don't mind looking at 3 or 4 before making a decision. That's why I don't like to over filter. So this is why it's come back with. And now what we can do with all of these, we can start opening up any of these as well. That's fine to do too. But if we sort by what's pumped in the last hour, so if we sort it by hour, ignore the one at the top that's done millions of % and very high liquidity. Let's just ignore that one. These are the more realistic ones that we're looking to get into. We want to get into ones that have 30 liquidity, maybe anything from 100, 300,000 market cap. Slightly lower would be better, but let's have a look at these and see what they're like. Now on this one, again, liquidity locked. We're way past any of the scams and stuff. So this is very legitimate collection. We don't even need to do advanced searches, but we would still, you have plenty of time. You don't have to rush these trades. So I would still advise, do the usual checks I tell you to, check their socials, go into Soul Scanner, etc. But basically with this one, let's get on to a 1 minute. You can see this is a beautiful wave 2 trade. So if you change the market cap, now this one we've missed, obviously, is moved away from us. But where were we here? Massive wave 1 move, very, very nice, happened within the first half an hour, got to 250, but then completely died, but never fully died. Interesting. So it got a base at 30, but then look, we broke through, downward sloping trend line. Great, that's a nice start. That's the earliest sign you'll see. What else is seen at the bottom? Volume starting to pick up. Wow, really good. It's trending on here now. So obviously within the hour it's picking up and it's a low risk move. So if you buy there at 60, it doesn't work out and you have to sell at 40, not the end of the world. But if it works out for you, you're already on a 5x and you can continue to hold. Massive trade. Now, probably knowing me, I would have sold a good amount here, seeing the pullback. But even at 100, nice round numbers. Remember, these are round numbers again. We pull back exactly 100. Great place to bounce. Same way 10's a great place to bounce. 100's a great place. Here, beautiful, nice, clean trade where unlikely you would have sold. And it's slower. It's nice. It's slower. It's over like 30 minutes and stuff. You don't have to rush or be absolutely glued to the screen. I would be glued for the first short period of time. But as soon as I've taken a good bit of profit, maybe even taken out my initial entry, then you can let it run a little bit. Beautiful trade there. And then this one, Croco, let's have a look. It's probably going to be something similar. But let's see how early it is. Yeah, it's a little bit late here because this is already taken off as well. But this one, so first hour or so, it got to a high of, what's that market cap? 500, big high. Pull back down to, usually it drops to half, but this was much more than that. 158, push up to 5, drop back, and then volume coming in, and now lots of volume coming in. So people must be finding this one really cool. And if you look at the website, it's already much better than a lot of the usual stuff we see. Nice, fresh website, bright, interesting enough. And that's it. So it's getting into some resistance here. Very hard to pick the tops, as you know. 1 million will be a big resistance, as you know as well from the training. And yeah, that's it. But there's a little bit too late. So we're hoping to find one that's trending within an hour. So within an hour, we want to see that initial 30-40%. So let's see if we can find one. So these are the ones trending an hour, and you've got 5 minute ones as well. Sometimes in an hour, if it's stable, but in the 5 minutes, it's suddenly pushing up a lot. That might be interesting, but 5 minutes is kind of too short a time frame sometimes. But we've seen this one with Berkshire Hathaway. It's locked liquidity. This is probably a more recent launch. Yeah, so this one we will ignore, and that's what I mean when the liquidity gets too low. Actually, no, this is okay. The liquidity is not too low. 15, the market cap's okay. This one's okay. So yeah, I'm watching this one. It's sold off a lot. Amazing that it actually just launched and it got to, wow, 800 and it's all the way down at 30. An exhaustion trade here, perhaps? Something to think about. So let's get on to RSI. Just want to make sure price doesn't move too much as well. Jump onto RSI. And yeah, it's overbought at the moment. We got a little bit of divergence here on the, let's see on the 5 minute. Yeah, a little bit, nothing major. Yeah, you know, it's okay. Maybe worth putting a little bit in. We've had a little bit of volume. Did we have a trend breakout? Technically, yes, it's a small trend breakout. Not the greatest in the world, but let's see if we can get a slow grind up. So it's currently selling off a little bit. Let's get onto a 1 second and see real time. Real time it's selling off. Let's copy the token, and I'm just going to have a quick look at this one. And I may even trade it, to be honest, whilst we're doing the video. Again, as normal, no guarantees with any of this stuff. You just have to trade risk reward. We're miles below all-time highs, so it's probably a dead collection. But either we get a little recovery trade or you can get into something better. I have seen in the last few days dead collections suddenly recover as well. We know there's a lot of interest in this because all the people who bought already, some may be potentially buying the dip. We already had a move from 30 to 60. That's a 2x. Natural. It would be natural there that there's some selling. But anyway, I'll have a think about what to do with this. But I hope this video helps. So this is literally how you're going to pick up. There's loads and loads to go through here. You can sort it by 6 hourly as well. And kind of take it from there just to see if there's any setups. But it's more the short-term ones, the ones that haven't really moved, that are now starting to pick up, like Berkshire. which potentially could turn into something. But again, I'm not going to get involved yet until we see, what do we want to see? A higher low. We want to see some stairs forming here. So what I'm looking for, if you remember from the training, is, it's a massive downtrend. So we have to remember that this is against trend. But are we going to get a higher low and possibility of stairs or not really? We're going to go all the way down and it's still going to struggle. Anyway, thank you very much for listening.